Okay, class, welcome to today's lecture. After a really good session, let's get our seats and go through some stuff I like to cover. Okay, it's just basically maybe 3 or 4 points. First, I want to talk about your bankrolls and the life of a gambler and all that stuff. I know you don't want to talk about it. We push it off long enough. It's time to get down to brass tacks. Okay. It's tough, man. Not everybody can do this, okay? You got to give up a lot. There's a lot of sacrifices and stuff, okay? Um, People are going to hate you. They're not going to understand. They're going to say, why didn't you just get a job like everybody else? Because they're stuck in that slave mentality and everything. And if you're an entrepreneur and everything, you're always looking for the fastest, easiest way that you can think about. And the first thing that comes to your mind is, all that bad stuff, right? And gambling is one of them. But if you want it bad enough, you sow the right seed, get the right information, it can be done. But it's not a lifestyle for everybody. Okay, let's go through the math. All right. Let's say we spent, we got my computer screen here. I'll show you. We spent $200. All right, a day gambling times 365 days a year. Right. That's how much you spent a year, $200 a day gambling. Now, we all know you don't go to the casino with just $200, okay? Sometimes more, but never less than $200. And I know you don't go there every day and all that stuff, but some people do go every day, and some people go like 3 or 4 times a day, but I'm pretty sure you don't go there with $200. So that's the $200, just a base average point. That's how much you spent in a year, all right? Now let's start gambling since we were 21, right? Playing video slots, blackjack, roulette, whatever. It's gambling is where we're there, right? Even playing poker with your friends and stuff. We start at 21. Let's take myself as example, right? I started when I'm 21. I'm like 50, 51, 52, 53 now. Let's say I'm 50, 52, right? So I'm going to take that number and I'm going to times for 52 years. That's how much money I put into the casino that I put in. It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't look like it. But that's how much money I burned for 30 years of gambling, right? If I didn't do that, I would have just taken the money, put it in a jar or buy gold or silver. I'd be really well off. But at the moment, I didn't see about it, right? I just went and feed my addiction. And it's now you look at it because you see a big chunk of money, you'd be like, wow, that makes a big difference. But if you're watching my channel, you're doing all this stuff, you're in the same boat, you spend that same amount of money too. Over the years, you started gambling. Let's say you didn't do it for 30 years, you only did it for 10 years, right? That's still $1 million. If you do it for 2 years, that's 2 million something, right? Like I could have used that money and changed my whole life, but I didn't. It's the same thing like you're paying for your cell phone bill or buying sneakers, just shit that you don't need, right? Like a cup of coffee at Starbucks, $10 a day times 365 days a week times whatever you've been drinking coffee, or a pack of cigarette, or alcohol. It adds up the same way, right? But the thing is, each race each has their own stereotype and everything, right? Like Asian people, we don't chase women and all that stuff, right? We just like to gamble. That's why I see a lot of casinos get up for Asian. That's the reason why. It's in our blood. It's in our nature. Just like Indian, like Native American people, the richer people of North America, they can't handle alcohol. They just get drunk and go, on the dark side. That's why you see they have a lot of issues with alcoholism and everything, and they just can't control themselves. It's the same way, and Irish people like to fight, right? It's in their blood, It's that Viking ancestors that they started off. They love the adrenaline fight and putting the pain in, It's what we built into our DNA, okay? And sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's good. That's why you don't see a lot of African American, like I'm talking about, like African American people, like dark colored skin people, trying to be politically correct here without offending anybody. You don't see them swimming because they're not built for swimming. They don't have a lot of fat muscle in their body like a big chest cavity to support the lung mass, and that's why they don't swim. Um, it's just your physique, the way you're built and everything. That's why there's one thing I don't mess around with. That's like I don't try to pick a fight with a Samoan or Pacific Islander, because those guys are modern day warrior race, right? They're born with the DNA to just go all out fight. That's why they store fat so fast, and they travel the ocean to get to another island to do battle, and they lose it fast. That's in their DNA. They're just modern day badass fucking, excuse the language, fighters. That's all we can say. They just go down, kick down your door, take name, and that's it. They're like the Viking version of the tropics, right? And it's like that. So there's two things I don't mess around with in life, and that's the Ukraine and Mother Nature. Because Ukrainians are just like off the wall batters. You know what I'm saying? They're just unpredictable, and Mother Nature, you can't win, right? But like going back to the topic, the life of a gambler is tough. It's not for everybody. There's a lot of sacrifices and things that you made. Like I'm a chef and everything, right? But I cut food. I look at my refrigerator, it's empty all the time, and I'm like, I want French fries and shit, but I don't have potato because I didn't go shopping, right? So I'm sitting there drinking a bottle of ketchup down, just trying to get the flavor. So you make sacrifices, you do it. Some people don't understand the sacrifice that you make, but if you want it bad enough, you put in the right seed, the tree will grow, right? It's like I told you, we do a lot of practice on the table, rolling, dialing the muscle memory, everything. But what you don't see is the time that I sit and meditate and try to look for that perfect grip, the perfect roll, the perfect way the dice land. I'm just envisioning it in my mind, meditating to see the perfect scenario with the right numbers coming out. And all these times I've been wanting the 4s and 10, right? I just keep meditating on 4s and 10 and me hitting the 4s and 10s, right? Manifesting it, right? And then applying the action. And it happened. It's working. I'm hitting more 10s and 4 than usual. So manifestation does work. You just have to apply it correctly, okay? And that's why you see the casinos, everything. They're set up like with the feng shui, the way to rearrange stuff in the Asian culture. There's a reason why they did it. They use all that stuff. At the point, I'm thinking about going in the casino and use a copper dowel rod and just trying to dial and find the right slot that gives me the jackpot, see if that works, because all that supernatural stuff comes into play, right? Just like gravity, right? Like I don't believe in gravity. Yeah, you heard me. I don't believe in gravity, but I don't have to believe it to have it work, right? Like I know if I jump, gravity will pull me back down. If I jump off a building, I know I'm not going to make it. So just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? It's just your state of mind, your consciousness. You could try to jump a little bit and overcome it, but eventually it gets a hold of you, right? Like Michael Jordan can do a really high jump and dunk and everything, but he still has to come back down to earth. So you gotta be within reason of your expectation and know the physical law, right? In craps, we're dealing with the mathematical probability law, and we're dealing with physics. Crap is basically a physics problem, right? You're just basically dealing with the physics problem. You're using math as a solution, and you can't beat the math, so you work within the solution to tweak the outcome you want, right? Like the result, and you know how the experiment works, so you fudge the number a little bit by getting the result as close as possible what you want, right? It's like tweaking the paperwork to show the outcome of what you want it to be, It's like you say, I don't have a gambling problem. I just have a financial problem, right? It's just like that. It's like I'm not a drug addict. I just like medication, things like that. So getting back to the gambling lifestyle over there, it's just something you have. If you want it, you're bad enough. Know that the rest of the people that hang around you, and if they don't like the same thing you like, they're not gonna agree with you, right? It's like, who's your favorite baseball team or football team, right? Little things like that. You got your home team, everybody root for, and then you move into that town and you're a different team, everybody hates you, right? It's the same idea. So be prepared for the hate. But you have to make a lot of sacrifices. But look at the number I spent, right? For 32 years of gambling at $200 a day, I spent over $3 million. You know, that's a big chunk of change. And even if I deposit half of that, I look back on it like, man, that's sad. I was really out of control. At this point, I'm able to get some back, but not enough. That's why I try so hard to do all this, because I believe everything I want and desire is already mine. I have to just go and get it. And then when the time is right, the universe will give it to me, you know? At this particular time, all the time we've been gambling at the casino and everything, we're just making a deposit. It's about time we go and we make a withdrawal from them with interest, you know? That's what I say. It's like one people trying to make 10, 20, 30 roll, 40 roll, 60 roll. It's really hard. It's nearly impossible, right? But it's possible. But if you get like 5, 6 people, 8 people that can roll 10 roll consistently without a doubt, you know, that's 80 roll right there, dude. That's a doable thing. You know, that's why I'm trying to put this video together. I try to get a team together and nail down your SOR and the position we need to play, and just go down there and kick down the doors and say, whose house is this, right? We be like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse coming down, rain, hell, and hellfire coming behind us, you know? And just hit all the countries, travel the world, live off their money. That's the ultimate goal. So hopefully at this time, you guys do everything you can to live that dream with me and achieve it, right? Take a year's vacation from your family, your life, and just travel the world. Just knock down every single house there is and claim our deposit back. All right, so that's the life of a gambler, right? It's tough. It's not for everybody. You have to really sit down, question yourself: is this what you really want to do? But look at the number I put in, right? 3.7 million. I'm 3,700,000 and something, almost $4 million of my lifetime gambling so far. That's a big change. You don't see it because you go there a little bit at a time. That's what I'm saying. Instead of going to the casino with with $100, $200, $500 a session, save up till you get $3,000 or $2,000, and you decide. By then, you might not even want to go. You might want to do something else, you know. So that's enough on that subject on the lifestyle of a gambler, right? Another subject I want to talk about and go through is you need to take the time to meditate, to decide and work on your spiritual side, right? I'm not talking about religion and things like that. I'm talking about meditate, try to get the number you want, envision yourself doing that perfect roll, the perfect number. Hell, if you just want to roll 7 all the time, envision yourself setting up the dice, gripping, throw it to the table, and the result is nothing but 7. So that button stays off 100%. It's never get turned on. You just keep collecting on the past line bet. You know, you gotta do that. You can't just practice on the physical world. You have to practice on the spiritual world too. And another point I wanted to say is, I'm not. Let me apologize ahead of time and do all that. And I'm not offending anybody, and it's not my intent. I just want to point something out. Okay, so Allah, right? I think that's how you spell it. I'm not sure. It's A-L-L-A, right? Allah. Okay. Just bear with me. I'll get to the point. And believe me, I have the utmost respect for every religion and all that stuff, right? I'm not batting anybody down. If it sounds like that, I just wanna share something with you, okay? It's like deep thought, deep moment, right? Okay. Now, you know what Allah stands for, right? I believe the correct spelling is not that. The correct spelling is this. But they took it out. They don't want you to see it. Okay, I put it in parentheses so you don't see it. So you get A-L-L-A. That's what they give you, right? Allah. I think that's how it is. I'm not sure. If I'm wrong, put it in a comment. Correct me, okay? What it stands for is all. You see A-L-L, all. And then you see La, right? So you see all that, right? But the correct spelling, I believe, is this, law. So when it goes through, it says all law, right? Meaning above all law. It's then above all, right? Land, air, and water, meaning it has dominion, it has power over everything. All law, Allah, right? Land, air, water. That's why these people are so passionate about it and everything. And I just want to point that out. So what happened is, you know, the story of Jesus and all that stuff, right? So Jesus came, you know, and make the sacrifice and all that stuff, and free man with all this things and stuff like that, right? Whether you agree with it, agree or not, but that's what history is written about it, okay? I'm just going by what history is written, okay? Now, Webster comes along and he enslaved mankind, right? He screwed it all up. When he died, he wrote the worst sin that he ever committed was to enslave man by writing the English language, okay? So this is what Allah, but they took out the W so you don't see the law, but it stands for all law. All above, land, air, and water, okay? Now, you know why they put you in a test? They give you a test because they want to see where you stand. So the word test is a box. They put you within a box. See? T-E-S-T. So they box you within these brackets. So you need to take a test to figure out where you belong within the box. So the English language is of etymology, the study of language or words, is very important. You need to get to know that so you don't get to be enslaved, right? There's a reason why all that stuff goes through. Let's take another word. Let's take the word level. L-E-V-E-L. Level, right? Why is they called a level? Because it's like this. All right? We're going to take the V out and we got to put it up like this. You see, the bar is level on both sides and the V is upside down. So it doesn't tilt. It's level. It's L-E on this side, E-L on this side. It's the same way. It's level. See, the words play a different meaning. It's significant within the words. If you don't understand the words, you really don't know what's going on. Once you understand and you see the amount of trap that they put you in, that's why to entrap mankind is so easy. It's you form the words, right? And you spell, and they cast a spell. Once the spell is cast, man has no choice but to obey the sentence because he doesn't understand it, right? You notice in school all day, they teach us cursive, and we write our name in cursive. All we're doing, we're just cursing ourselves in our name. But now they don't teach cursive anymore, because, you know, but that's the reason why they teach us curses, because we're just a curse generation. So let's look at another name. All right, we got to take the word Anna, right? You know, it's a girl name. Okay, it's A-N-N-A, Anna. You ever met Annas? Like 95% of them, most of the time, they're always level-headed because they're even, because they're all balanced. A-N-N-A. They're just level, right? Okay, let's take another word. You're going to love this word, right? The word is called live, L-I-V-E. Okay? It's L-I-V-E, live, right? But what happened when it's spelled backward? It's evil, E-V-I-L. So life is evil. You get it? There's a reason why all this stuff happens and goes through. So let's get back to the religious part and all that stuff, right? So we know what Allah stands for and everything. Whether you agree with it or not, you know, that's your personal opinion. Everybody has an opinion and you're entitled to it, free speech and all, right? So just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, and vice versa and things like that. So how do I know that Jesus is real and go through it? Because through all your life, right? When something goes wrong, what do you always do most of the time? You blame it on JC, right? You never say Allah this, Allah that, or you don't say Buddha this, Buddha that. It's always JC, man. You know? That's how you know. That's why the world hates him, and he says it. You know, even the Muslim people believe in just, they don't believe he's the son of God and all that. They just believe that he's the prophet, right? They don't deny his existence, right? I'm just saying, you know, I'm with JC because, hell, Why would people start hating him all the time and just start swearing in his name, right? Like, we know better, but people still do it. But like I said, like, I'm raised Buddhist and everything, but you don't hear people walking around and say Buddha this, Buddha that, because there's no need, you know. And by the way, don't tell the Asian people this, but I personally think Buddha's African American, not African, but like black, dark colored skin people, right? Because look at his hair. They got the six in there. They look like Jerry curls all weaved out. And look at the ears and the lip, you know. But each is his own. So that's one of the stuff. And you always notice, like, when the musical award or any type of award when they give out, I'm stereotyping now, okay? So don't crucify me. It's like the white people always think they're ancient. They always think, you know, who put them on top, this and that, the ancient. That means they're placed there, right? They have a system going through, right? And the Asian people always think their parents, right, for pushing them to going through, because that's what we live for. We live to honor our parents. We're basically their slave, right? We're their retirement plan, you know? That's why they always, like, listen to their parents, because you don't have a choice. You just bred in. Like, white people buy slaves, you know, right? Asian people make slaves. They just born and train them into the slave system, into the family system. That's why. So the white people, they would thank their agents and all the people that got them to the top. And the Asian people, they would thank their parents for getting them to the top, right? But the African American people, the dark colored skin people, right? They thank Jesus and their God for getting them there. It's always like that, you know. Thank the Lord for getting me here and this and that and everything. It's always like they're thankful. That's why I keep thinking and keep saying that the dark colored skin people, the African American people, the original African people, all that tribe from Africa, they're the original tribe of Israelite. And they've been scattered so long, and then they forget. It's like throughout the whole human race, they're the most people that's been crucified and tortured and just basically like stepped on the most, you know. And they don't realize the power that they possess. So time to wake up and claim your authority and your power, and know how precious you are to God. You know, you're His chosen people. Don't let people take it away from you. The rest of us, we're just Gentiles, right? But history is written by those who conquer, you know. History is the spoil of the victor, right? If you win the city conservation, you rewrite the history, and the next thing you know, it becomes true. So, right, that's what we talk about. We talk about the lifestyle of a gambler. We talk about the words, and you have to understand the words that you use play a big impact on other people's lives, right? So think about, instead of, they always say, you reap what you sow, right? That means whatever you do, you get back, right? So if you put in bad shit, you get back bad shit, right? So instead of reaping what we sow, why not sow what you want to reap, right? If you sow good stuff and good intent, you're going to reap good stuff. It's like, it's a law of the universe. That's how it works, right? One of the stuff is, if you don't use it, you lose it, you know? How many times did that come true? All that stuff that we used to do when we were little, you know, like walking along the fence, doing all that stuff, and all the math formula we learned in school and the science. Hell, when we're adult now, we don't use any of that stuff. Now we barely can even teach our kids how to do our problem unless you're using it. So if you don't use it, you lose it, right? Like you play musical instrument, you stop playing for a while, you lose it. So little things like that. There's a lot of the universe, the physical law, and there's man's law, right? Man's law we can overcome, but the universal law, the law of the universe, law of nature, you can't overcome that, right? That's how it is. So instead of just working on the physical side, the practice, the mechanic, the touching, the dice rolling, you have to work on the other side. You have to work on the spiritual side. Once you put the spiritual side together and the two sides meet, the conscious and the subconscious, you basically nail down this thing of existence. And but I just like to share that, and I think it's a good point that you should choose your word wisely and concentrate on what you say and know the true meaning. Like the word woman, right? Like I know I'm gonna get crucified for this shit, right? But women, like they always ask you the new thing now, what is a woman? You know, explain a woman, right? I'll tell you what a woman is. Like one of the comedians say, a woman is your mama, right? But in African Africa. Like in America, Western, the word that's spelled woman is WOMAN. But then they change it. They don't want the man in it. They put WOX, right? But the correct spelling, the original spelling of woman, is not WOMAN. It's WOBMAN. They don't show you the B because they don't want you to know about. But it's a man with a womb, like WOB, womb, like a room, you know, womb. That's how they spell it in Africa. WOBMAN, womb. It's a woman is basically a man with a womb, right? So you got to be careful with words. Words are hidden and they hide shit and they entrap you. So choose your word carefully so you don't insult people and understand and go through it. Like the word nice. Nice doesn't really mean nice, like good intention or anything. Like when you go down, you say, oh, he's a nice guy, she's a nice girl, right? The old day, if you look at the word nice, it doesn't stand for what we think it is now. It stands for nasty, ignorant, you know, all the bad stuff, right? But they don't talk about it. Just because the definition of the word changed, it doesn't mean that the origin of the word changed for its first intention, okay? So it's like dog, right? Okay, why do people have dog? Why do they make dog and all that stuff? Oh, they give you the story too. They help you hunt and get animal and all that. Yeah, that might be true in the beginning, whatever. But I wasn't there. But I just think it's one BS story, because dog can't survive without man, right? Think about it. You have to give him a bath. You got to take care of him, all that stuff. And why does dog sound so close to God? You know, it's like it's DOG, and then God is GOD, right? Because the dog is man-made to distract you from God. Instead of giving love to God, you give your love to the dog. Get it? And if that doesn't blow your mind, but think about it. Why does a dog have his own freaking year lifespan, right? You got his own calendar. Like one dog year is like 7 years of human life or something like that, or 4 years, right? Because it's man-made. It's all there to distract you. So pay attention to the words. Time to wake up, people. Time to realize what's going on, and I just want to do this video and do a wake up call to open your spiritual eyes, and if you have ears, let you hear, and you have eyes, let you see, and realize that you need to balance the physical and the spiritual world to get your life in order. Okay, so little deep thought there, just something to think about. Take care. I'll see you next time.